Welcome to This Week in 23 Sports. My name is Brea Williams, and I'm hosting with Eleanor and we are going to catch you up on everything you need to know about Mizzou Sports.
Last week was filled with softball, baseball, track, and field. We'll also update you on what Mizzou Tigers will head to the NFL this season. It's all coming up this week in 23 Sports.
Welcome to This Week in 23 Sports, your premier University of Missouri sports update show.
Over the weekend, Mizzou softball hosted number 3 Florida in the last home series of the season. To open up the series on Friday, Mizzou's Kayla Kessinger hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the second, which gave the Tigers an early 2-0 lead.
Wow, Missouri continued to get runners on base, but Florida did not give in, which caused many Tigers to be stranded on base. As for Florida's offense, they really showed up in the top of the 6th. With 2 walks and a single, the Gators loaded the bases.
And after Mizzou made a pitch change, Florida got what they were hoping for and hit a ground ball right up the middle that drove in 2 runs, and the Gators tied the game. But the Gators were not done yet. Jamie Hoover crushed a 3-run homer into center field. That was all the Gators needed. Missouri was unable to come back from that deficit, so Florida took Game 1 5-2.
Wow. For Game 2 on Saturday, MUTV 23 staffer Henry Pullitz was at the game and has all the highlights. Check it out.
I'm out here at Missouri Softball Stadium. We got a great game today. It's currently about 80 degrees, sunny, perfect weather. Number 3 ranked Florida versus number 15 ranked Missouri. They're ranked top 5 in the SEC, both of them as well. Last night, Missouri blew a 2-0 lead in the 6th inning. Florida dropped a 5-bomb on them, and now Missouri's looking to bounce back today with a big win. It's going to be a huge game.
Florida got off to a good start in this one, as Hannah Adams hit a leadoff home run to give the Gators a 1-0 lead in the 1st inning. After the Gators got the lead in the 1st inning, Missouri wasted little time as they began collecting lots of hits, and by the 5th inning, the Tigers were up 8-2. Emma Robbie trotted the bases for the 7th time this year after hitting a big 2-run homer. The highlight of the game was Hattie Moore's walk-off home run in the 5th inning to give Mizzou the run rule victory.
Well, there it is. Tigers take the big win, 10-2, after that big home run from Hattie Moore. They're now 1-1 in the series. They lost the game on Friday, win the game today, and they're back in action tomorrow morning. For MUTV 23 Sports, I'm Henry Pullitz.
That was such a great game for Missouri. And as for the Sunday game and the last game at home, Missouri, for the 2nd time this season, scored the first 2 runs.
Missouri's Brooke Willis got singled and then stole second. She was able to get on third with a ground out, and teammate Hattie Moore finished it off with a big double and drove in the run to make it 1-0.
Soon after, in the 3rd inning, Jenna Laird had some success of her own. She slammed a home run that put the Tigers up 2-0. After trailing 6 innings, the Gators made a late comeback in the 7th. With 2 on in the count at 3-2, Florida's Hannah Adams hit the ball way out of the park, scoring 3 runs and taking the lead away from Missouri.
The Tigers were unable to score another run in the bottom of the inning, so Florida took the last game of the series 3-2. Missouri softball last SEC regular season series is this weekend in Tennessee.
That's right, Brea.
Like softball, Mizzou's baseball will also be in Knoxville, Tennessee this weekend for a 3-game series. Baseball's coming off of 3 straight losses against Alabama and is looking to break their now 6-game losing streak.
Last Friday in Alabama, both offenses came ready to play. Right off the bat in the 1st inning, Missouri scored 4 runs thanks to a double from Grant Biel, a single from Trey Morris, and RBI from Joshua Day put the Tigers up 4-0. But unfortunately, the Tide got rolling and Alabama hit 2 solo home runs to cut this score in half, 4-2.
Wow.
The Tigers managed to pick up another run in the second and drove in 2 more in the top of the third.
Losing now 7-2, the pressure was on for Alabama. The Tide did not seem to be worried at all. Alabama destroyed a 2-run homer, which tightened the score 7-4.
Missouri would pick up 1 more run in the fourth to make it an 8-4 ball game. As the Tigers seemed to cool down, Alabama seemed to turn up the heat. The Tide scored 2 more runs in the fifth, 3 more in the sixth, and another 2 in the eighth. Alabama left Missouri in the dust and won this game 11-8.
Wow, that score, crazy. For the second straight game, Missouri fell to Alabama. This time, though, with far fewer runs. Missouri got on board early with an RBI single from Trey Morris. The Tide went on to score 1 run in the third, fourth, and fifth innings.
Down 3-1 in the top of the seventh, Missouri senior Blaine Biel had he stole home. This steal was the first time since Mizzou stole home in 2017, and it was the first time since 2002 that it was a straight steal.
Even though history was made for Mizzou, it was Alabama that won the game 5-2.
So on Sunday, for the final game of the series, Mizzou began the game hungry for runs. Like the 2 previous games, Mizzou attacked first with 2 runs over the first 2 innings. The Tigers maintained a lead up until the bottom of the seventh when Alabama knocked in a run to make it 2-1.
Wow, with this late momentum in the game, the Tide tacked on another 2 runs in the eighth and took a 3-2 lead for the first time in the game.
In the ninth, the Tigers fought back hard to take back the lead, but were unable to hit beyond the warning track. Alabama won the game 3-2 and swept Mizzou 3-0 for this series.
Wow, that's a wonderful season for those guys. Track and field ended their regular season this weekend at the Kansas Invitational in Lawrence, Kansas. Some Tigers that deserve mentions are redshirt freshman Mitch Weber, as he placed 3rd overall and 2nd amongst collegiate players in men's discus with a mark of 57.29 meters.
Also in discus, freshman Devin Robertson also had a new personal record with a throw of 53.82 meters, 3 meters further than his previous best. Senior Colin Graves ran the 100-meter dash in a time of 10.46 seconds, a new personal best, which got him 4th place.
That's amazing for those Tigers, as the team takes 2 weeks before they travel to College Station, Texas for the SEC Outdoor Championships from May 13th through the 15th.
That's right, but that's not all for track and field. After the SEC meet, they will return to College Station for the NCAA West preliminary before heading out to Eugene, Oregon for the NCAA Championship.
Good luck, track and field. This past weekend was a special one for 6 Mizzou Tigers as they participated in the 2021 NFL Draft.
That's right, Brea. Senior Nick Bolton, Tyree Gillespie, Harry Boredom, Joshua Bledsoe, Larry Roundtree III, and Damon Hazelton were prepared for the draft, all-around star players for Mizzou 2021 season.
The first of the seniors to get drafted was Nick Bolton himself in round 2, pick 58 for the Kansas City Chiefs. He now makes the 8th player from Mizzou to be drafted by the Chiefs. Next was safety Tyree Gillespie in round 4, pick 38 for Las Vegas Raiders. He was one of the 4 safeties to be drafted to this team.
Coming in on rounds 5 and 6, offensive tackle Larry Boredom was picked 7th for the Chicago Bears. Next up was safety Joshua Bledsoe coming in round 6, pick 4 for the New England Patriots, and following close behind Larry Roundtree III at pick 14 for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Still during the draft day, transfer wide receiver Damon Hazelton signed to the Houston Texans, completing the draft for the Mizzou Tigers. Overall, wonderful achievements for our Tigers, and can't wait to see them on the NFL Sunday game days.
That's right. So proud of those Tigers. And thank you for joining us. To keep up to date with all of Mizzou Sports, follow our Twitter and Instagram. Make sure to join us back here in the fall for more football and volleyball and all Mizzou Sports. I'm Eleanor and
I'm Brea Williams. Have a great summer, Tigers.